Thank you for coming back to Joshua Carter Performance, and my name is Joshua Carter. And in today's video, just keeping in strategy and in game plan with my focus on really being intentional about things. And I know a lot of people come to these videos for weight loss advice and fitness advice, but again, this is a performance channel, and with performance, that's mental, physical, things you do in your daily life, things you do in private, things you do in public. It's just a total performance and wellness brand, and that's what I'm building on. That's my life's journey. That's what I want to make sure that I convey in every time I use any one of my platforms to discuss. And I want to talk about something that I saw on a quote this morning, and that quote was, it was from a gentleman named Kendall Ficklin, and that quote was, all of us have a story. Every single person has a purpose, and every single person has a reason why they get up every morning and go. The problem is people try to live and base their information as far as like coaching someone, educating someone on someone else's experiences. So it was like a caption on his Instagram post. So what he's saying is, say you hire like a life coach, right? And or a personal trainer even. And the life coach or personal trainer gives you information, but it's not information that they've actually readily put to use in their life. So they're trying to get you to change your life and change your perspective about life and how you move and things like that. But they've never experienced the things that would entail them to even be, I don't want to use the word qualified, but, kind of qualified to do what it is you're asking for. So for me, if I was telling you all about weight loss, but I've never lost weight, I've never worked out, I've never tried to eat healthy, I've never done any of that, then I'm basing everything I'm telling you off of someone else's experiences. And that's why I always say it's a journey, because I've done this so many times before and fell off, and now this time I'm doing it again and staying on track. And same thing, if I have never dealt with anxiety or depression or losing loved ones or having issues in relationships, why I'm not credible for what I'm saying, because I'm telling you something that I potentially have heard somewhere else. So when I read this caption on his Instagram post and listened to the video, it really intrigued me, because I know a lot of people who get on social media, we go on there for an escape. We see all these people who seemingly live these wonderful lives that we think they have all this money, they have all this fame, all these followers, but we don't know what they go through once they log out. We don't know what they go through once they cut their phone off. And one thing that I know that people who I deem successful, or who I deem seem to be living their best life, are people who live their truth. And this is something that I've spoke about, blogged about, done countless podcasts about, and it is being intentional about being who you are and living in your truth. I am very transparent. Some things I feel like I shouldn't say, because it may turn people off. Some things I feel like I reveal too much, like I'm too transparent, and it doesn't come back to bite me, but it makes me question a lot of things that I do. But the thing is, I connect that back to I'm living in my truth, and that's where I feel like a lot of us who deal with anxiety and deal with just everyday issues with life, we are trying to connect our life to something that's not even real. If you have created your definition of success, okay, and let's say right now, today, March 12th, at the time I'm doing this video, it is 4:10 a.m. Let's say you get your day started at 4:10 a.m. and you say, okay, today I'm going to claim my definition of success to be peace with myself, at whole with myself, eating better, making better choices. So you start your morning off, you go out there in Monday morning traffic, and someone cuts you off in the highway, and you cuss them out, you chase them down, you almost get into a road rage situation. So right there, you've already fell short on your definition of success, because your thing was to have peace. Peace in yourself and outwardly expressing peace will not cause you to have a road rage situation. Yeah, you may get mad that somebody cut you off, but If you're at total peace with yourself, it wouldn't bother you the way that that situation could potentially bother somebody. The definition of success should tell you, I know this is going to be a process. Knowing my truth is that I have a problem when people cut me off in traffic. I get angry at the smallest things. I need to be intentional about correcting those things. So today, Monday, March 12th, I'm going to take the necessary steps to figure out how I can get to that peace. Whether that's listening to different music on the way into my office, whether that's meditating a little longer, praying a little longer, having a conversation with a loved one on the way in, whatever that looks like, I have to figure that out. If until then, I'm going to forever get mad when someone cuts me off in traffic. Same thing when you go into the gym. If you go into the gym clueless, and I tell people all the time, the best thing to do is just start. So if you walk into a gym, you get a membership, you got nice new gym shoes, new workout clothes, went and bought headphones, got a nice case for your phone, and you get in there and you're just aimlessly walking around, but you're posting selfies for social media that you're in the gym. That's not living your truth. Living your truth, if you're going to involve social media on day one, is first day in the gym, have no idea what I'm doing, but I'm here. Thank you for all the support. End of discussion. It's not about this, because what happens is now you see everybody that you follow on social media in the gym, and you think those abs and those nice arms and that nice butt and all that stuff is going to come on the day one. No, that person had to identify with their truth and be intentional about getting to their truth at some point. And they worked and worked and worked and worked, and then they identified success to them with, I want to look a certain way, I want to feel a certain way, I want to be a certain way, I want to brand myself a certain way around what I've now deemed to be successful. And that's the part that becomes tricky, because being intentional and being truthful with yourself can cause you to find out things about yourself that you may have never even considered before. So for me, I have dealt with some things in the past that I didn't reveal them outwardly until like a couple of years ago. Simple things like when I talked about in previous videos, the porn addiction, the addiction with feeling I wasn't accepted, so I would outwardly lie to fit in with the crowd. I wasn't cool enough to be different. I didn't think that was cool. I didn't think it was cool that I was a quiet, reserved. I didn't take my first drink till I was 21, never smoked anything till I was like away in college. Things like that. Like I felt out of place because, all like the majority of my friends were doing those things. And it just wasn't me, but I adapted to what they were all doing instead of just walking in my own space and being truthful to who I am. And that's growing up. That's maturing. I'm sure as far as this video reaches, there's going to be one or two people who say, oh, you know what? I did the same thing too. And that's because we want friendship. We desire love. We desire, compassion. We desire acceptance. The strongest people in the world are the ones who, go, what's that quote? Go to the path less traveled. You go somewhere and instead of following the footprints, you make your own footprints. Those people, and I think that there's a statistic that says only 3% of these type of people exist in the world. Those people are the ones who we look at as successful. Steve Jobs knew there was a way he could change how people view technology. Mark Zuckerberg knew he could change the way people view and use and manipulate the internet. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., he knew there was a way he could bring people together no matter what. And these people were willing to sacrifice everything to be intentional and live in their truth. You have to make a commitment to yourself to be truthful to yourself. When I was going through that period in my life when I was just like lying and I really was down on myself, that then is when I should have recognized I'm depressed. I have anxiety. I didn't even identify with anxiety till I was like 29, 30. And so that's like 4 years ago. And I really I found myself feeling more at peace and understanding. Now, when things would come in that I couldn't handle, I would flare up, and I still do it to this day. I get mad when I hear bad news, and we all do. But when someone is at peace and they hear bad news, they adjust to it. Like, okay, how can I now fix the situation? How can I, everybody else around me is crumbling. How can I stay strong? And it's a hard thing to do. That's why there's only 3% of people who, pretty much run everything. So all the things that we watch, all the nice fancy captions that we read on Instagram, you're watching this video. I'm being very transparent. I'm being intentional. It's not that at 4:10 in the morning I have all this exuberant energy. No, it's at 4:10 in the morning. I know that it's Monday. I have a lot of things to do. The way I'm getting to my level of success is being up, being present, to hold to my commitments on my to-do list. And this is something that I have to do. Being intentional and being truthful with myself is knowing that there are some things about myself I need to work out, or I'm going to lose my relationship. There are some things about myself, things that I prayed for. I prayed to have a relationship, a fulfilling, loving relationship with a woman. I used to pray and ask for these things, and I finally got it. And there's come times where I've almost ran her off because of my own insecurities. So instead of me being on here like, oh, my relationship is perfect, life is perfect. No, the intentional truth is I have to figure out what I'm doing wrong. I have to be man enough to get some alone time, whether that's at 4:10 a.m. when I finish doing this, is to process everything in my mind. Like, okay, how do I take that anger that she didn't even cause and take it away from her and just handle it like a man should? Now, there's a difference between venting to your partner and blaming your partner. I don't want to call her at 4:10 a.m. and say, this has happened, this has happened, this has happened, because it's not cool. It's not fair, and it's definitely not helping anything. But if I say, hey, I'm struggling with this today, how can you help me out? That's a different thing, and vice versa. I pray to, I used to pray to be able to do entrepreneurship and do it peacefully and, succeed in it. And I didn't know that when I did this the first time, entrepreneurship, I didn't know that I did it so wrong because I was money hungry. And then when I got money, I got comfortable and I lost the business. Now, as I do it, I know it's bigger than that. My purpose, my calling in this world is to just be transparent. Be transparent and show you that everything is a journey, but at the same time, be intentional and be truthful. No, I'm not a motivational speaker. No, I don't come on these videos to motivate you. I come on this video to inspire you and also outwardly express the things that I've been thinking. You see, it's a weird space that we live in when you do things, when you have like a business that's online, because it's a crowded space. Think about it. The internet is only like 25 years old. I mean, I think it came out in 93 is when they introduced the internet to the world. So what is that, like 25, maybe 25 this year? So it's such a crowded space that literally people do everything online and they never have to leave their house. If I was the type of person where I could do work from home, I would have no reason to leave my house besides going to do my work at the gym, and then could just come right back home because I have internet at home. My computer is there. I can do videos here. I have space to work out here. I literally do not have to leave. But being truthful to who I am, I know for a fact that if I was to work from home, I probably would get that much stuff done because the TV is there. There's the kitchen is there. There's a bed there. If I got tired, I would just fall asleep. So being honest with myself, I know it's not possible. I have to go work at Starbucks or Panera at 5 days a week, like I'm going to an office. And that's just being honest. I can't do that. When I leave the house, I go to Starbucks, I go to the gym. This week I'll be showering at the gym and then go back to Starbucks. And then I don't like to go home till like 5:30. Then when I get there at 5:30, I may schedule some things to post. I may record a video for the next day and just schedule it to post later. Anything that's keeping my mind going. Because again, when my mind sits idle, like, I'm just being truthful. When my mind sits idle, I start thinking and I overthink everything. And I may text my girlfriend something I shouldn't have texted her. So, nothing crazy, but like, if I'm overthinking, I may just say something that I shouldn't say. That isn't, like, when I say that, I mean like not even real. But I know those things. And every day it's a conscious effort to work on those things. And that's what I challenge you to do. Just be truthful. If you're in this weight loss process, if you're in this entrepreneurship process, if you're in a new relationship, be real. Come into the relationship real and honest. Walk into your new business venture real and honest. You don't know everything. You're going to hit your head. You may have to reach out and hire a coach to guide you along. You may have to reach out and, talk to someone who's done it before in weight loss. The internet is full of information about weight loss. You just have to weed through and see what makes sense. When I first jumped on this in 2012, I had people telling me you can only run to lose weight. You shouldn't never lift weights. You have to eat white rice and broccoli and chicken every day. All types of information is out there. And I listened to it all. And that's partly why I messed up. Now I know, because I've studied it. I've had 6 years in it. It's and I'm not saying 6 years like it's a decade, but I've had some time and some experiences with this, and I know it's all trial and error. And I know you have to find a groove that works, and we'll just stay in that groove until you've carved it out, and now you can walk in that space, and you'll hit your health goals. So, stopping the video there. Just want to say, just please be intentional, be truthful about what it is that you want, and then if you have some things that you don't like about yourself, like if you have an addiction, or if you have some laziness issues, or if you have, issues with trust, find a way to create those things that open up that door so you can face it and address it, so it doesn't put a stop on your life. Because you're slowly killing yourself. If I was the type of person that, was still in that mindset that I got to create a fake image for people to like me, I probably would have committed suicide, because it takes so much energy to upkeep that thought and upkeep all those stories together. It's draining. It's not fun. So once I got to check that first thing off the list of, hey, this is who I am. I got anxiety. I got mild depression. I'm overweight. I don't like working for nobody. I got to start a business. This is how I'm going to start the business. This is what needs to happen for me to do that, and this is how I'm going to do it. I got to get back in the gym. This is how I'm going to do it. This is what I'm going to do, and whatever else. I move in a certain way that some people have no idea what's going on, and then other people know what's going on. The people who know what's going on, they mean something to me. The people who have question, it needs to stay that way, and that's just who I am. I'm a very private person. I don't argue with people unless, I don't argue. I don't bring people to my house. I don't bring negativity around me. It's just who I am. I don't bring negativity around me, because if that gets up here, it sits up here, and then I overthink everything, So I had to identify all those things. I had to face the fact that, right now, yes, I'm a good boyfriend, but I'm not great. I know she can count on me, but at the same time, count on me to do what? If I'm constantly making her think like, damn, is he gonna blow up today? That's not cool, And it has to be addressed, and it gets addressed when you can own it. The first step to fixing anything, and the first step to living in your truth, is owning it. Now, you don't want to find your truth and then just stay there. Like, well, that's just who I am. I'm an alcoholic. I'm just a mean drunk. I'm got this addiction. I'm just gonna stick with it. Don't ever do that. Like, I could have sat there and be like, I've been creating these stories since I was 14. I'm 28 years old now. I'm just gonna keep living that story and just make different stories up to different people. No, I had to realize, okay, at the time, man, I am 28, 29 years old. I cannot keep doing this. If you don't like me, okay. If you do, cool. You liking me for who I am. This is who I am. I don't like to interact. I'm an introvert. I got goals that don't require me to be out every weekend partying. If you can't get with that, okay, cool. But Yeah, you just got to find that truth, fix it. If it's something that you know is bad, just fix it. And if it's something that you know, like, yeah, I can take this and do something with this. This is probably, this truth, this positive truth is probably how I need to identify my definition of success and just keep taking the steps on that journey. So now I'm really going to stop the video. Yeah, just be intentional. You know, weight loss, be intentional about that. Find the information that works for you. Find your weaknesses. If you know you have a sweet weakness, starting a weight loss journey, figure out how you can cut back on the sugars, cut back on the soda, add more water, add more green foods to, you know, all those things. Yeah, just be true to yourself. Thank you for watching the video. Hope y'all have a great week, and we will see you soon.